Yeah. Blackjack. Life is like a game of cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Yeah. Blackjack. To play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY, Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Hit the thumbs up button. Tell a friend about the channel. And more importantly, if you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, do me a favor and hit the bell notification. This question right here comes from a system from Long Beach, California. This was asked of me personally on the street, and she asked me. She said, "Did Suge?" She wanted to know, did Suge Knight pay anybody? Did he do good business by any of the people that he was dealing with? Even after knowing that Tupac wasn't really signed to death row. And I gotta say, from the information that I gathered, like I said, I try to do this thing unbiased, man, and just come with the facts. I don't want to tell you what I feel, what I think. I'm just gonna, deal and read from the facts. And the answer to that question, sister, is basically, from what I uncovered, is no. And I'm gonna start with the Harry O thing, if you will. And like I said, and I'm gonna go from not only when Harry O and them filed the lawsuit, right? It was settled, but it was settled by Interscope. It was settled by Jimmy Iovine. But let me give you some detailed information into that when we deal with the facts. Back then, and this is from the once again, I'm pulling from the lawsuit that Afeni Shakur filed against Suge Knight and David Kenner. And paragraph 30 of the lawsuit, basically it says, it has been alleged repeatedly that Death Row was initially funded with $1.5 million contributed by convicted cocaine dealer Michael Harris. In January of 1996, Harris drafted a 15-page complaint which alleged that both Knight and Kenner knew of his investment and that they had wrongfully denied him the return of and the return on his investment. Person number one, who didn't get paid, and who was the initial linchpin, as you see the business that Snoop Dogg and Harry O just did, basically in getting Death Row back, the name Death Row back, and they're starting on their journey of doing the business that they want to do in regards to Death Row and that label, right? So now, that's person number one. So when you deal with that fact, somebody who initially put that investment down, and like I said, that's clear. We've heard David Kenner on that video when they were at the Monty Steakhouse. You can look that up yourself when David Kenner basically says Michael Harris, Harry O, and all of the people who helped bring this thing into fruition, right, if you will. And so that's person number one. Person number two would be none other than himself, Mr. Dr. Dre, right? Basically, paragraph 58 of the lawsuit. Upon information and belief, when Dr. Dre left Death Row, he similarly received no compensation either for his performance as an artist or for his ownership interest in Death Row. Upon information and belief, Dr. Dre was also told that he was overdrawn. Upon information and belief, just to separate himself from Death Row and Knight, Dr. Dre simply declined to press the issue any further and gave up that which he was rightfully entitled to receive. That's number two. So Dr. Dre, the guy who was responsible for basically the Death Row deal with Interscope going down after he had left Ruthless, right? He was told by Suge Knight also that he was overdrawn, if you will, right? And so when you think about the facts of this matter, everything that people been saying in regards to like Snoop getting Death Row and Right. You got to understand, nobody got paid. Right. That was number 2, Dr. Dre. Let me go into number 3. Basically, upon information and belief, Death Row similarly has failed to pay Snoop Doggy Dogg, Snoop, another major rap artist, the royalties to which he is entitled. Upon information and belief, Knight and others also told Snoop that his account with Death Row was overdrawn. So now, this is your top selling artist along with the Chronic at that time. Then Snoop came with Doggy Style, right? So basically, they've been told that they're overdrawn. They don't owe no money. They're not owed any money, any royalties, or anything like that, right? So when you think about this, nobody got paid. So when it comes time to file lawsuits and things of that nature, you're within your right to file a lawsuit, right? And go about it the way that you think that you should go about it, remedying the situation. This is business. This is not personal. This is not, we got to get gangster with this thing and we got to, take it to the streets and nothing like that. You take it to the court because you have a legal and binding contract which allows you to do that, right? But check this out. Even by Death Row's peculiar accounting practices, there were $7,107,186.74 in expenses charged to Tupac. Thus, Death Row owed Tupac at least $9 million at the time, or it was thought at that time, of his death when Tupac died. That money kept from Tupac by Knight and Death Row through fraud, deceit, artifice, went to funding Suge Knight's lavish lifestyle and perhaps that of his deflacating account. When you understand the nature of this business and what had went on involving Death Row at that particular time, Tupac's situation was kind of different because he wasn't really legally signed to Death Row. But in believing that he would be given a contract, he was looking at it from the perspective like, yo, y'all owe me this money, right? Despite whatever else. And when you really read the other contracts and things, you would understand what I'm saying. I don't really have time to get into that. I would hope that people would, do their own research or look at what I had put up before and basically look at that. So now, when you talk about Snoop and them once again, now acquiring the name to Death Row, doing good business, handling their business, him and Harry O, like I said, once again, if you pay people like you're supposed to pay people, then you never have to worry about them suing you. If you honor the contracts that you sign with your artists, with other business people that you do business with, right? Then you never have to worry about filing for bankruptcy or being sued for monies that you owe to other people that you know that you owe, right? And so anything that arises out of you not paying someone their money is your fault, correct? We're not going to go around blaming other people and saying that they're, somehow unscrupulous characters and all of this other, all of these other crazy things. What we want to talk about is we have a contract. You know when you're supposed to pay me. You know how much money I gave you. Or we have a contract. I'm an artist. You know how many records I sold. You know what my royalty rate is. So you know what I'm supposed to be paid. Or we're business partners. We're 50-50 on this Death Row thing. This is how the money's supposed to be split up, and so on and so forth. So when I leave Death Row, and I'm speaking in the Dr. Dre's, when I leave Death Row, we supposed to break bread. But that's not what you did. And so much so that Dr. Dre didn't even press the issue. Right? Think about that. He didn't even press the issue. He kept it moving. Right? And so now, think about the totality of this. Snoop, Dre, Harry O, and Tupac, once again, rest his soul, they did good business. They did good business. You never heard of Death Row filing a lawsuit against Suge Death Row filing a lawsuit against Snoop because Snoop violated his contract while he was under Death Row at that time back then, right? But you do remember when Snoop went to No Limit, that Master P paid some odd millions of dollars to get Snoop. So once again, even though Suge didn't play fair with Snoop, he still profited off of Snoop when he sold his contract to Master P. When you understand the facts involving this situation, you'll get it. You know, and the fact of the matter is, you know, and I don't hate to say it, because at the end of the day, it's facts. This is truth. Not what I'm saying. This is what Snoop has said. This is what basically the lawsuit speaking on Harry O's behalf back then at that particular time said. This is what the lawsuit Dr. Dre filed in order to get the royalties that he was due from the records that he had put out had said. And like I said, once again, this is the lawsuit that Tupac mother filed against Death Row once Tupac died. Your boy DELRAY, straight game.